gamer. Currently starting off with from our last session, we have our Zeus carrier group parked in Family Zhin, and it's holding up pretty well against the Xenons that's scattered around the sector, coming in from all three directions, from Thuruk Cascade and two other undiscovered sectors that I've yet to explore through. I think it's obviously split space, most likely. So as you can see, with these small ships, the carrier has no difficulty of handling them, especially with its escort fighters on intercept duty. So the only thing is that on intercept, they only intercept small and medium-sized ships. So it would be troublesome when a large ship or a capital, in this case the Xenons with the capital sized destroyers coming in, these fighters will actually not do anything. So as you probably will see later in this session, I have to actually move away my Zeus carrier, move it away from the gates, because right now it's parked right in front of the Family Zhin and Thuruk Cascade gate, and if a K comes through, which eventually it did later in the session, it will leave me with no room to maneuver, and that could potentially just mean a lost carrier group, almost for certain. So yeah, lots of laser shows and fireballs. Okay, so Family Zhin is pretty much sorted. So we are now heading back down and looking at Hewa's Twin 1. As you can see now, there are
entering system.
fights going on. Two Xenon Ks. Two Xenon Ks at the trading station, and that's being currently confronted by the PAR and TEL fleet. And initially, with a bad position in here, these Odysseus are pretty much toast. To start with, but the production capability of the PAR and TEL at the moment are pretty strong. They both have probably more than 10 sectors each, so they can pump out all sorts of ships from their shipyard and wharves at a pretty decent pace. And there's a bit of bug here as we just switch into the sector, and you can see these the TEL fleet is not moving at all. The Falcon, the fighter, and also I think the other one is probably a buzzard. I don't know, but neither of them are moving, and they just sitting there and get themselves blown up. Yeah, I think this is just the flaw of X4. That yeah, something about some kind of linear processing or single threaded, at least in terms of processing entity orders, that is. Yeah, doesn't seem to be like doing too well now, as it goes exponentially higher as your as the entity count grows. Alright, so here we look at another Odysseus in the background, and right now it has the range advantage, and it is actually shooting a lot of missiles at this K here. However, somehow it did not keep its distance, and it got into brawling range, pretty much brawling range with the K here, and so it doesn't really look like it's boding, it bodes well for this destroyer here. It did, however, manage to destroy the graviton turret on this K. But I don't think that's likely not going to be enough for it to escape or even cripple the K. That's far from enough. Down to 30% hull. And there we go, a few shots that just go like missed. Okay, and turning around means exposing the engines. What, 2 engines out of 3, and now all engines been taken out, and that would be the last shot here. Yes, and there we go, it's gone. Okay, so turning our focus away, doing a bit of a housekeeping at the moment. We're in the sector Thuruk's Demise, and it's currently controlled by the 3 families, although the patrol fleet here is from the ZYA. So what we're doing here is we're just gonna make sure we started to get our reputation from the splits faction, whichever would work. The ZYA is not going to trade with me because I'm at -15 with them, so I would in the future need to go and need to do some missions for them or shoot some criminal mass traffic around their stations. Okay, so in order to start raising more, my standing with them. So now here, back in Family Zhin, as I said, we have moved our carrier group to more of a middle point between all 3 gates, and there is a K coming through from Thuruk's cave, and so what you see now is that me taking the helm at the taking command manually of the carrier and its groups, because if I was going to command its fighters, I will actually have to be at the helm for them to follow the fleet attack or any of the fleet maneuver commands. As you can see, that because otherwise they will not, the AI or the NPC, the AI really, is not going to prioritize the targets. As we've heard already that one of our ships got hit, and really it was just by the small and medium escorts of the K. They haven't even started encounter the K first, so I have to manually go onto the map, select the target, Make sure they prioritize the target properly. I'm just checking if I have lost any fighters at the moment. It looks like one is seriously hurt, but it is not destroyed. Alright, so looking at this big map here, as you can see, I manually selected the targets with the keyboard T shortcut, and you can see the yellow brackets because they are coming from different directions. So as you can see, they are rogue. Some of the rogue fighters decided to just go and disperse and fight, engage different enemies. Right now they're a bit too far away and we don't want the K to get too close, so I have instructed them to come and attack this K, and the best thing to start with is to find out which is to take out the large graviton turrets first. I think in this encounter I only lost one ship out of 36, 35-ish still operational fighters, so that was not too bad. They luckily survived. So here we go. See that they're all coming in, trying to get the right angle of approach to take out the turrets. They almost got it, but they haven't been too accurate with their lasers. So the idea is, obviously, after we're able to take out the turrets, we want to be able to take out the engines too. Alright, so we select the target and then you go and right click on one of your fleet and then just ask them, bring up the contextual manuals, and it just says fleet attack my target, and they will all focus fire on the same surface element. You can see that they got too close, so they need to make a distance themselves and then make a separate run, and that's quick. It doesn't take too much shots because the shield was down. They used the same shield groups. So what we wanted to get rid of now is probably let's say the turrets in the underbelly where it leads to the engines. The thing is with the blast mortars is that it does splash damage, so it will hurt both the engines and anything nearby. Right, so they need to get their approach angle right again, and meanwhile one of the medium escorts has closed in, so it's best that we deal with that first. It's best that you deal with the... You don't have to fly all the way to chase it. You just wait for them to come into range and then just temporarily ask your fleet to engage them, because they do take out your fighters if your fighters were engaged with other enemies, and it proved that that would be a lot easier for them to take out. Now, the engines are a big target here. It got taken out pretty easily. So what we're going to do is, instead of going around for the other engine, right now the attack angle is perfect for us to take out the turrets on the same side as the engine, because I don't, for most of the ships they don't need to do the reapproach again, because they're on this side of the ship. So it's best that you minimize you minimize the traveling and expose your fleet under the heavy fire of the gravitons that if lucky it can one-shot most of the small ships or even medium ships. Yeah, so even though this K has still got most of its shield intact, all 6 turrets has been taken out. I don't really have to worry about the impulse turrets. They don't track fast enough on any targets, and since I've got more than 30 of the ships here, they will not be able to focus their fire on any one of the fighters for long enough to make significant damage. So all we are doing now is just to make sure, rather than the medium impulse turrets, we would rather take out the small ships with their main guns. That would actually do pose a higher threat to your fighters, or to our fighters. Right, so right now you just let them do whatever fight they want, because the K is pretty much toothless here now. Have no way of no efficient means of destroying my fighter fleets. So you can just let them freely engage instead of sticking to the focus fire rules on any surface elements. And so what we see here, it's pretty much done for. Alright, and this K is going to be history very soon. That all its shields, generators and surface elements are pretty much all down, and it's gone. Alright, so at the end of the session, I'm just gonna get my trading fleet down into Thuruk's Demise set up, so I can get passive reputation gains from the free families, trying to get my MK4 engines for my fighters. Other than that, this is it from my session for this round, and if you like my videos, please send a like or subscribe, follow me, leave a comment. They'll be very much appreciated. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.
Awaiting orders.